Good morning, everybody. Hey, Sunset Gazing. Seriously, I am mind blown. I adored Lauren and John Matthias in the Chad Daybell trial. I do believe she needs help, in my opinion. Yeah, so that is actually, I'm actually a little bit sleep deprived this morning because I tried to watch everything. I tried to watch everything. I tried to listen to everything. I tried to read everything because, it's a weird position to, well, it's not a weird position, but let me say it this way. It's easier to just be a part of the tribe, isn't it? It's easier to just be with your friends and choose whatever your friends are choosing. That is always the easier route, although I do think it leads to problems later on if you do that. I am someone who just marches to the beat of my own drummer. I make my own choices, and I hope that people would, try to understand. But if they don't, if they demand compliance, I just can't be a part of that. It feels insincere if you do that. And I spend a lot of my life talking up about being true to your authentic self. And I have to do that because then I'm at least comfortable in my own skin. So I really wanted to be right. Like I didn't want to make a mistake in terms of which side I sit on. And I was really curious why I was finding it hard to come to a decision, right? About who's in the right, who's in the wrong. And I even went through that mental exercise of, does there have to be a villain? Right? Hey, Mana Flower Power, good to see you. Does there really have to be a villain? Hey, Love Louie. I have stopped listening to it all except for here since there's no laughing at it or making fun of it. We're just getting the story. I appreciate that. No, thank you, Louie. I appreciate that. So it's I don't want to fall into that. I don't want to fall into that fallacy that there must be a demon. There must be someone who's in the wrong. There must be someone who is the monster. And there must be a truly defined victim. That is a fallacy when it comes to people and relationships. There is a truth here in the midst of all the smoke and emotions. One of the truths is these people were friends for a year, correct? These people were friends, Lauren and Christina, and even if you include Lori Hellis, these people were friends, and a year of someone's life is a long time. A year of spending time daily in conversation, sitting in the same car together. That is a real relationship, correct? And Tennessee Mama says, how about grace for Christina? It's coming out now that Lauren has a history of this, just like Brittany J. Oh, I'm gonna address that, Tennessee. Because she's in the algorithm on YouTube, I'm getting suggestions for videos like News Nation and other videos for 2 years. Her facial transformation is unbelievable. So let me see what else. Hope Diamond says, going with my gut on this one, all the mean girls need to stop. That includes Lauren. Hope Diamond, come sit by me. time for reflection on her part. Yeah. So, you know, I don't believe that in every situation there must be a monster and there must be an angel or a victim. That is a fallacy. And the reality is that this group of women were not YouTube internet friends. They were real life friends. They were traveling together. They were staying in the same hotel rooms, or at least the same hotel. They were eating dinner together for a year. It's a long time. The reason that I bring up that reality is this: they were private together. They were personal together. They spent time together. And that means there's a lot of emotion. Correct? There's a lot of emotion, and emotions can be messy. Here's another thing that happens with groups that travel together like that. There's messy behavior. So one of the lines that I've always drawn professionally is this: I don't go and get drunk with people that I may be writing their paychecks. I don't go and party and drink and let my hair down, so to speak, with my professors or my work colleagues. Why don't I do that? I don't do that because you're blurring professional boundaries. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a serious problem. And I absolutely am certain of one thing. Dr. John Matthias knows exactly what I'm talking about. So if I did go with, even going all the way back to when I was a student, if I did go out with the other PhD students and there were going to be professors in that group, there were a couple of professors. They were pretty young. There and just like my dad warned me, he said, don't let those boundaries fail, even when you're out having dinner or anything. The professional boundaries are respect for the positions. They are not location. Just because you're in the college and you provide certain boundaries, those boundaries hold whether you're at the Mexican food restaurant having margaritas or you're at a convention in Toronto. They still hold firm. And I listened to him because I trusted him. And of course, later on, those young professors got really screwed up in problems like having affairs with PhD students. You know what I mean? There was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of going and doing things together. And there were a couple of times that I went and had dinner. And when the wine started flowing, I excused myself and either went and found my friends or just went to my hotel room and went to sleep. That line, those boundaries have remained the same throughout my entire career. I do not get relaxed and act out like a child with colleagues. I simply do not do that, or with students, or absolutely not. You lose clarity, I think, number one, being on the other side, not as a student, but on the other side. You lose clarity. You are the one that is losing the position of role model. And I don't mean role model like admire me. I mean, you should be modeling professional behavior, correct? This is the exact reason why when I did this YouTube channel and everything, I became very outspoken that in no way, shape, form, or fashion is this channel a reflection of what I do in my real life. It is simply not. This is me being a kid. This is me just being me, right? I'm talking about without the education, without the job, this is just a person who wants to be themselves and not edit what they're saying and be authentic. I've been really, really clear on that. And a big part of that is I don't want to be a YouTube psychologist. I want to have fun and be one of the people just talking and having conversations. That's what I want from this. And so I've set that boundary. It's not in words only. I live it. I did have a situation where someone contacted me because they knew of me from YouTube. And very quickly, I said, I'm not going to be able to do this. I really, really appreciate you and thank you for your confidence. Please let me refer you to one of my colleagues who is amazing. And let's just keep being friends on YouTube. And I feel good about that, and the other person feels good about that, and that was the right thing to do. So the reason that I'm taking this time to really point this out is this: as I go back and I listen to all of the commentary reaction videos, Lauren's video, even Turtle Boy has got in on the act, reading the laws. There's something here that I don't think anyone can ignore. And the first thing is this: you cannot ignore the friendship that existed between Lauren and these women, Grayson, Christina, even Lori Hellis. And there were blurred boundaries. Lauren was the person that was responsible for defining work boundaries. And if you disagree with me, speak up. I'm happy to hear that and talk about that. But when I look at this, I look first of all, I read the stalking laws like someone told me to do. Someone left a message and said, you need to go and read Utah stalking laws, yada, yada. I did that. I don't believe that so far what they've told us, I don't think there's any stalking criminal. There you go. That is a vernacular that really just cuts through the whole boundary talk and just says the truth, the facts. You don't dirty up where you live. Period. Keep it clean, right? It's the reason you got a bathroom door on your bathroom. You don't sit in your living room and take care of that part of human biology. Boundaries, they matter. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that, Nana. One of the things that I've been trying to do videos on when this Lauren thing erupted, I was trying to talk about this new group of 7 gather. No. I'm wrong. I'm not talking about Christina and her friends. The 2 women that were in the original 7 gatherers, the deadly 7 gatherers, those women have now formed another group. Yeah, you can't make it up. So I want to talk about that, but then this happened. So boundaries, and Lauren was the employer. Lauren was the employer, and John Matthias is frequently on her channel. I've always looked at it as, kind of like a guest host, but maybe not. Maybe they do. Maybe they're full on 100% partners. He damn sure knows about boundaries. In fact, one of our mandates is no dual relationships. Dr. John, do you only think that idea, that ethical direction is for psychologists only? Of course not. It's for anyone. It is to keep things clean. And so when you guys are acting as the employers, then there should be a line, a boundary of personal behavior. Yes. Jennifer Lawton, that is a perfect example, right? We can enjoy someone, we can be their friend, we can like them, and we can disagree with their behavior at times, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And every time on YouTube, people want you to choose a side. You guys love that. You want the tribal mentality on YouTube is very, very powerful. And I get it. I've often said my tribe are the Houston Astros. I wear the shirt, I got the hat, I go to the games. I love them. So I'm not going to choose up tribes on YouTube. I like people, like all people. Some people, maybe I don't want to. There's some people that scare me a little bit. Okay. But I do, I just like people. I like people that are interesting. I love funny people. So I'm in a lot of communities. I like a lot of different people, and they don't always like each other, but that doesn't mean I have to choose up sides. I don't have to do that. So I think Lauren and Dr. John, they hold the responsibility for this shit show. This is simply hurt feelings, violated boundaries that have gone off the rails. Christina, I think it was unfortunate that she made those videos when she was upset. I am not standing in judgment. I've gotten mad. I've been petty. It happens. We do it. We're human. We should try not to do it. And if we do it, then we should be, very fast with our apologies. But I'm not wearing a halo. My job isn't to pass judgment on people, whether they should be anointed or not. That's not who I am. So do I like what Christina's doing? No, I don't like it. If I found out that, one of my own kids was doing that, I'd be like, this is not a good look. You do not want these videos out like this. If you have a message, if you have something to say, speak it forthright. But don't do these veiled threats and, oh, you just don't know the embarrassing information I have on you. TikTok, right? It's not a good look. It's not a good way to go. But even though I feel for Chris, I'll tell you, I really feel for Lori Hellis, because she has now put out facts that show Lauren Matthias never should have had that book, the manuscript. She never should have had it. and and it wasn't treated with respect, right? So I think that Lori probably has some misgivings. She probably feels a little butthurt about how it came to pass that her transcript ended up with Lauren. And yeah, I think she's furious about what Lauren did with the manuscript. But I'm probably, if there's a true victim in all this, it probably is Lori Hellis. Would you know? So what my message for Christina and her friends, the group, say what you want to say. Like, you have a message, you have an experiences that are real and they're authentic. Go ahead and say them. Like, do it in an honest and open manner, and not the sort of veiled. I mean, I thought that's maybe it's this veiled threat of what's to come that is making Lauren and Grayson and John unable to sleep at night. I don't think so, but maybe I'm willing to give that. But I do think that if Christina and her friends, if they did have these really, really bad experiences, I think the better way to go, where they're treated with respect and not the bad girl bullies, but they're listened to it with open minds. That the way to do it is to authentically tell your stories, right? These are only my opinions. I am not God. These are my opinions only. But if they want to do it as sort of fun, Hollywood-esque, veiled, threatening, if they're having fun doing that, it's not me. It's not my job to tell them to quit. Or I'm just saying that if they do have a story to tell, don't fear telling it. Your right to speak, free speech, is protected. Okay, so that's for that side of the coin. I also think we're talking about a story of David and Goliath. I think, and this is another thing that perplexes me about Lauren and her guest host. How in the world does somebody with 100 or 300 subscribers, who's not naming Lauren, like she never ever used her name, how does that make Goliath tremble in bed, weeping hysterically, while Mr. Goliath is across the country pacing the floor and unable to sleep? That is odd to me. And I'm not passing judgment. I find it at this point much ado about nothing. People talk crap. People talk smack. They do it online with the camera rolling or in the side chat. They do it. Compared to the mean girls of old that would gather together in the bathroom and say, "Ooh, did you hear what Carly did? Well, let me tell you what she did with Joe Bob last night." Yeah. It's no longer even like that. It's no longer even at the mercy of your friends keeping your secrets. It's now openly talked about on YouTube. That's our new gossip in the bathroom place, right? So because of that, I find it really confusing that Lauren is saying, stay away, I feel threatened. And the lady that she's saying that to is just looking at her like, are you okay? Like, what's going on here? This is so bizarre. How can you feel threatened because someone that needs to talk to you is in a fully public place? You are surrounded by people and they just want to talk to you about whatever you are doing or going to do or what they're going to do or how to come to a resolution of the friend group meltdown. It's strange, Dr. John. It's 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 incongruent to what has actually happened. Right? The emotional display during the 9-hour live, during the video of no, stay away, I feel threatened. It's incongruent to what is actually behaviorally unfolding. And yet there's text of you saying, I can't sleep, I'm pacing the floor, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I don't know. It's a little bit much. And I don't look, here's the reason I'm bringing this out. I'm not bullying. I have a point for this. Were these was hyperbole, which is not illegal, by the way, according to the laws. I know because I read. Hyperbole is not illegal. So are Lauren and Dr. John, are they using hyperbole thinking that is going to sway a judge to award a permanent restraining order that would include not talking on the internet? Think about that. So there, from the other side of the coin, if I am Lauren, it feels terrible for someone to be talking ugly about you. It feels bad. It does. It feels awful. And I was listening to Randy and Wendy last night, and someone in their chat said, this is Lauren learning the rules of YouTube. Right? And I couldn't agree more. Randy went through it. I for damn sure Mommy Ramblins went through it. I've been through it. You do find out that there are social rules for this platform. And perhaps Lauren didn't face that because people were so blind to give their trust because she was on TV. She was on TV. She's a star. She's famous. She's been on real live television. Right? Isn't that what we all do? We all do it. Oh my God, look, they're on TV. They must be really, really so much better than me. No, they're not. They're people. They're just people. Those people that you're looking on television, ABC, CBS, those people behave badly. Trust me. Not better than you because they're on television. It's simply that their job has a camera in their face while they do it. Yours doesn't. But they have the same sorts of personality problems. They have the same anxiety and depression. They live in the same exact world that you and I do. So you should not blindly give your trust and adoration to someone simply because their face is recognizable. They've been on TV. Epstein is recognizable. Did he deserve your undying devotion? All right. So we have to be careful about that. But I do think that Lauren got a pass for a long time. It was a long time she got a pass because she was a real journalist. She was really on TV. Right? Well, that means she's also fallible. If you can give her your undying devotion because she's on TV, don't you also have to be equally authentic when someone makes a bad decision? And I do think that's what we have here. That 9-hour live, in my opinion, that was a panic attack. It was a slow moving train wreck of a panic attack. You know what I mean? They went to the court. She thought she was going to walk out there. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. She thought she was going to walk out of that hearing with a permanent restraining order, or that it was all going to be hush, secret, while she did what? Who believes that Lauren would have been perfectly happy if Christina had been arrested at CrimeCon? I think she would have been. If you have a now see, we hit the one thing that I would have said to Lauren, are you crazy? This is the one thing. If you have a restraining order against someone because you're in fear of your life, you're terrified for your life. If you walk in and you say, oh, let's go to the bar and have a drink, and you've got your entourage, and you walk up and you go, oh, good heavens, whatever should I do? My stalker is in the bar that I wanted to go to. This isn't fair. I want to go to that bar. Hey, you see what I mean? It's messy. Because if me or you had a restraining order against someone that was threatening our life, that we were in fear of bodily harm, if we walked up and saw a stalker, I'm going to tell you what I would do. I'm not going to speak for you, but I know what I would do. I would turn around and go the other direction. What would you guys do? Cinnamon, what would you do? I would turn around and go the other way. Period. That's not what Lauren and her entourage did. In fact, when you factor in Joe Schmo, yikes, it looks a little like a setup, Lauren. I'm not accusing you. But damn, that was a weird thing. She's there. You tell people she's there, and then you go on in and sit down and call the cops so that she gets thrown out. She was exactly where she could be. She was told that she could be there. She just could not enter the convention, CrimeCon. Why? Because CrimeCon is not going to go against Dr. John. In essence, they pulled rank on Christina. That is not the world I want to live in. That is not the country I want to live in. I don't want somebody to be deemed more important as a person than me or you simply because of the job they have. That is not the world I want to live in. No, if you get a restraining order and you walk into a location and your stalker, quotation marks, is there, you don't stick around, Lauren. You leave, hopefully before you are seen. What in the God's name made you think for a minute that your temporary restraining order crowned you queen? You don't get to walk in there and say, oh, they must leave, let them eat cake. What? That is the one verifiable factual event that tells me this is bullshit. This is, stay away. I feel threatened. Okay. You approached Christina. You were entitled to go into that bar and have her thrown out. You felt entitled. I am Lauren Matthias. I deserve to be in this bar. The little peon Christina does not. Let me call and get her thrown out. And to the credit of the hotel, they were like, no, no, not kicking her out of the hotel. Nope, this is wrong. Mm-mm. You lose your argument right there, in my opinion, Lauren, in that moment that you did not leave the location. You lost your argument right there. Even though you've got video that you were very proud to show, no, stay back. I feel threatened. You did not, under any circumstances, feel threatened when you marched into that bar like you were Princess Catherine. You marched in there and you proceeded to have her thrown out. You know that documentary, Making a Murderer? You're in the process of making a stalker. You're taking a young woman who had her feelings hurt. Her feelings were hurt by the way you treated her, or that she got fired, or whatever. Her feelings were hurt. She thought y'all were friends for a year. You said she was annoying. You were talking shit behind her back. You want to know what I'd be willing to bet? I'd be willing to bet that Christina has talked a lot of shit too. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet that Christina and Lauren together talk shit about people? If you think I'm right, put a 1. If you are horrified that I would even suggest such travesty, put a 2. Yes, Slim. It was terrible behavior. So, what exactly, Lauren, if you shed your royal robes, if you're just a person, just Lauren, just Christina, exactly what did she do that was different from what you did? What did she do that was different? Nothing. You did exactly the same things. You did it together. And then when you talked about her and somebody ran and told her, then she got her feelings hurt, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She took to the internet. The great and powerful Lauren Matthias is just the man behind the curtain. Let me tell you my stories. That's what she did. And you know what? I don't think she ever would have made not one single one of those TikToks if your job was an accountant at a corporate office and no one had any idea who you were. She never would have made them. The reason that she made the TikToks is because it's front facing to make the accusations, because your job is front facing. So all in all, completely all the way around, after really taking some time, trying to read everything I could, see everything, listen everything, here I don't stand with a team except the Astros. I don't stand with the team. This is, first of all, number one, violated professional boundaries. That's number one. Lauren violated professional boundaries. And I will say this about Dr. John. I think you violated professional boundaries, Dr. John, when you suggested that Grayson be responsible for Lauren. Not in any world that I can think of. Oh my God. No. If you are finding a person who's safe, they have to be safe people themselves. They have to be stable themselves. And a 22-year-old young woman should never be left to care for someone who's having a mental health breakdown. Never. I would not leave my 20-year-old niece with someone. Okay, that's number one. Violated professional boundaries. Lauren violated her professional boundaries by trying to turn friends into people that were employees. Lauren, you need some friends, girl. You need some friends. Your employees should never be friends. You lose objectivity. That's number one. The second thing is Christina got her feelings hurt and is behaving badly. She is, quotation marks, acting out. Okay. I have acted out. You have acted out. All right. She shouldn't have done it. If I was her mama or her dad, I'd be like, dude, Christina, let's tap this back. Let's take this stuff off the internet. Let's take a different direction. If you want to tell your story in a legal, factually accurate adult way. That's the way I would do it, Christina. Okay? Tell your story. You got a story to tell. You got freedom of speech. Do it, girl. Do it, girl. All right? But the little, oh, you don't know what I know, but you soon will. Tick tock, tick tock. It has this little ominous overtone that one could go to a judge and say, listen, it's like a serial killer. Christina is no serial killer, folks. She's just a young adult woman, a mother herself. This is just bad blood. These are friends that are feuding. And Lauren wants to pull the employer card. Well, I fired them and now they're out for my life, Judge. No, they're not, Lauren. They're not. Okay. You somehow, and this is the third point. The third point is you get this feeling, just a feeling, no facts yet. You get this feeling that Lauren is terrified. But I don't think she's terrified of, a young woman on the internet playing mind games, trolling. I wonder if there are things that while Lauren was being one of the girls with Christina, if Lauren did things that only best friends would keep secret. You know what I mean? I wonder, because something happened when they went to court and Law and Crime was going to film. They weren't going to live stream it. They were just there to tell the story. Large YouTube creator goes to court for stalking and defamation of character. It was just going to be a little blip on the news because of who you are, Lauren. They weren't going to live stream it, right? I think she said, oh my God, we can't, because we can't let the mean girls that I talked to and that I shared wine with and that I got drunk and did something horrible, I can't let them get up on the stand because there's no way of knowing what they're going to say. Right? So I think to withdraw the restraining order, get back. I feel threatened. Okay, suddenly you don't feel threatened anymore? I don't understand that. But you pull back on that only to be followed up with a 9-hour live stream that was a shit show, a snot slinging shit show. What? Because now, after the 9-hour airing out all the dirty laundry, without mentioning I was the adult in the room, I was the employer in the room, I was the expert in the field in the room, and my little employees, young women, I dropped down to their level and proceeded to get drunk with them and get catty and talk shit with them. I, the adult in the room, violated professional boundaries. But never mind that. Nobody think about what I did. I've got to get out ahead of this really bad thing. So she goes on, she tells her story, and now when the really bad thing comes out, she's going to say, "Oh, that didn't happen. That never happened. Now they're just trying to get back at me. They're just trying to hurt me because I told the truth." I would tell you this. I would keep my rational, logical, wise mind wide open about what's to come. Trust me. And the fact that it hadn't come out yet tells me that the girls are feeling empathy. The girls are saying, this is going to be so hard because this is going to destroy part of Lauren's life. And even though I'm hurt and even though she's hurt me, I don't really want to be that person. You know what I mean? I think the fact that it hasn't come out yet bodes poorly for what it is. So, people that are angry because I'm not standing up for Lauren, and people that are angry because I'm not standing up for Christina, or free speech is accurate. You're wrong. I'm trying to look at this objectively and accurately. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, not every messy situation is there a bad guy and a good guy. That is a childhood book. That's a fable. There are lots of messy situations where really nobody is the bad guy. There's just a lot of bad feelings. You know what I mean? And I think this is one of those situations. All right. And why in God's name, Tiff, thank you. Why are you bringing your baby into this? Do you not have enough emotional control not to demonstrate all your emotions in front of your child? Stop. Good God. Children are not supposed to stand witness to adult problems. And Dr. Matthias knows that. Yeah, lots of feelings. And who else do we know that drug their children into it? Who else drags their kids into it? Screaming and yelling on the internet all night long about threats to the family. You're threatening my children. And then, moments later, the little kid walks into the kitchen behind her, getting them a snack. And she's, "You threatened my children. You said that I had horrible inclinations towards my children." It was disgusting. Brittany J too. Brittany J brings her kids into the mess. Tell the people, did I say that? Did I do that? Did CPS come and question y'all? Yeah, that's the second one, Kelly. There was someone before Brittany J who was Well, I'll say it. I don't care because it's fact. Mommy Ramblings blog. Good God, don't summon that beast. It was incredible. The yelling and the screaming and the threats and all the, oh my God, the horrible things about her children. I don't even, not going to repeat. But trust me, the subscribers had PTSD before that was over. You know what I mean? It was that bad. So there's a pattern to people that are willing to create public mess. They drag their children into it. How many times did we see Mommy Ramblin say, Jimmy, come over here and tell the people. Tell the people, Jimmy. Well, now we got poor John. Dr. John, come over and tell the people, Dr. John. Tell the people. Stop dragging your husband into your mess. Stop dragging your children into your messes. Stop being friends with your employees. If you said the word professional 50 damn times. Is it professional to treat your employees like little besties, like your sorority sisters? No, it's not. And now what you're experiencing, Lauren, this is why you don't. Christina was in the relationship, Lauren. She got her feelings hurt, and she now has a story to tell. And according to the United States Constitution, she can tell it if she wants to. Yeah, agreed, Cinnamon. Very well said. Kelly O said it. I did not. What has not been told that Dr. John's blood pressure is so high? I could talk about that, and I'm not gonna. But suffice it to say, sometimes we need to take control in our own homes. Okay? I don't mean that in an ominous authoritarian way. I mean, sometimes the adult in the room has to take over. Sometimes the person in the family that is the most mentally stable needs to take over the decision making. Mr. John, are you hearing me? Going live for 9 hours to air out your dirty laundry with people that you claim you are ex-boss, but you behaved like a friend. And in one circumstance, like besties, we have bestie secrets, pinky promise, don't ever tell. You don't now get to pull rank and say, oh, believe me, I'm the professional. Did you behave like a professional? Oh, that's terrifying, Tiff. Absolutely terrifying. That's the greatest moment in YouTube history, Kelly. That was great. You know what the best part of that was when he fell down the stairs? The best part was the way that he popped back up completely unhurt. Right? It was like something out of a movie. It was great. Yeah, I like Jimmy. I do. I like Jimmy, and I think Jimmy is long suffering. Yeah, Kimberly, I am not going to argue with you about that. Oh, I hope not, Hound Lover. I hope not. I got mad on the internet one night, and people said, as a psychologist, I would think that you would know how to control your emotions. And I was like, hell no. As a psychologist, I know that it's incredibly important not to stuff your feelings. I am exercising my demons. No, I'm kidding. All right. No, actually, if I get mad in my real life, if I get mad and get upset, the very first thing I do is I take a walk. That is the absolute truth. I go outside, I walk all the way around the building, which is a big old building. It's downtown. It takes me about 20 minutes to get all the way around the building. And then you know what magically happens after I take that walk? I have clarity, right? After I do that walk around, my heart's pumping, my brain chemistry is normalizing from, my jolt of anger. And now I can actually see a path forward with good decision making. That's what good mental health is, okay? It's not that you don't get angry. You do. Anger is a normal emotion, just like happiness or sadness. What we do with anger, that is what can be bad. So if you get angry and you put your fist through the wall, that is bad. If you get angry and you vacuum the floor, that is healthy use of that energy. Anger is just energy. That's all it is. It's up to you what you do with it. Oh, how is that for a psychologist speech? Yeah. Eat it, haters. Okay, I got to go, y'all. Y'all have a great day. And I'll be back. You know what I mean? See you later.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. The rainbow horizons calling to me. Living each moment, giving truth from the heart. No deceptions woven, no false starts. It goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze. Watching the sunset fade away with pink and blue ease. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain. Diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we see. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light. For the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compare to the peace we found in the tides we ride, and the love all woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love for God and country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see.